Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
In yesterday's extra innings loss, this Rangers team displayed the characteristic that defined last season's West champion. Jeff Bannister's mantra to never, ever quit. A number of plays, both on offense and defense, kept that game close and gave the Rangers a chance to win. Today, it's Derek Holland's turn to give his team that chance to win when your Rangers look to grab a getaway daytime victory in Chicago against the White Sox.
Texas Rangers baseball presented by AT&T High-Speed Internet. As we welcome you from Chicago, the South Side, a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. The Rangers and the White Sox all set to wrap up this three-game series. And for the Rangers, a chance to avoid a three-game sweep. Hi, folks. I'm Dave Remond with Tom Grieve. It has been a rough go offensively for this team in this series. The starting pitching has been great. If they want a chance to win today, Tom, again, it's going to come down to some starting pitching, and Derek Holland has been good.
Yeah, and Dave, the one thing you wanted to see from Derek Holland this year was a healthy pitcher, go out there for 33 starts, throw 200 innings, be a solid third guy in the rotation, and so far so good on that count. Derek looks very much like the Derek Holland of old. His fastball, velocity-wise, has been solid. He amped it up to 94, 95 at the end of his last start. The one thing you want to see from Derek, as far as improvement goes, get a little deeper into the ballgame. Take the same stuff into the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning rather than barely into the 6th inning. When he starts to do that, he will be back. He's pitched well on the road this year. This will be his third start out of 4 on the road. First 2 have gone very well. He'll need to pitch very well today because the White Sox starting pitching has been almost untouchable. The Rangers will have a tough go of it offensively. Derek needs to be at the top of his game.
First pitch strikes for
go.
Derek Holland, and shorter innings in terms of pitches per inning. We'll see how it goes this afternoon. We'll see if that offense can get going as well. Got a little more for you coming up after the break.
Baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T high-speed internet, get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Sunny, gorgeous Sunday afternoon on the south side of Chicago. Derek Holland, he's got the challenge today. Slow down the White Sox, right now first place in the Central Division. We'll have the starting lineup to the first pitch coming up next. Chicago, U.S. Cellular Stadium, home of the Chicago White Sox, right now first place in the Central Division. Rangers today looking to avoid a sweep. Southwest Airlines starting lineup today for the Texas Rangers. They come in at 10-8. And Rougned Odor will lead things off. Second time this season he's in the top spot of the order. Nomar Mazara in right field bats second. Adrian Beltre, Prince fielder Ian Desmond, 3, 4, and 5 at the heart of the order. Mitch Moreland hit at first base again, bat sixth. Elvis Andrus hit short. Ryan Rua gets the start in left. And Brett Nicholas doing the catching this afternoon will round out the Rangers starting lineup.
And the starting pitcher will be Matt Latos. Even though Latos has to qualify as a major surprise based on the numbers he's put up so far, he's started 3 times, he's only given up 1 run. He's been hurt the last couple of years. He had knee surgery. He had a problem with his knee last year. So it's tough to judge him over the last couple of years. If you go back a ways, he was one of the top pitchers in the National League. He's only 28 years old. So if his knee is healthy this year, there's no reason he can't revert back to the form that he had when he was with Cincinnati and San Diego. And so far, he's not only done that, he's surpassed that. He's been untouchable.
He had a forgettable 2015. Started the year with the Marlins, was traded to the Dodgers. They released him. Angels picked him up right at the very end of the season. At that point, they were looking for just a warm body to soak up some innings, and it was a struggle for him. Now the defense behind him today, our T-Mobile defense for the White Sox, well, it's Melky Cabrera in left field, Austin Jackson in center, Adam Eaton out in right, same look they've had every day. Frazier and Saladino getting the start at shortstop. Brett Laurie has made some great plays at second in this series. Jose Abreu at first. And then Gianna Navarro reunited with Matt Latos here in Chicago. The two used to get together in Cincinnati when they were both with the Reds. And there are some who would suggest that part of Latos' turnaround this year is due in part to that comfort level and perhaps inside knowledge that Gianna Navarro is able to bring. Those two have combined to do very well together, both in Cincinnati and now here in Chicago. Well, we're ready to go. And Latos starts it off with a fastball outside for ball one. Odor, 250 hitter, but he's 10th in the American League with 13 RBIs. There's that nice curveball that you referenced in the open.
Yeah, I think Latos probably threw harder a few years back. Still has a solid fastball, but the way he hides the ball, the kind of herky-jerky delivery, straight over the top motion, makes his breaking balls very deceptive. An overhand curveball and a hard slider.
Well, it's fallen behind Odor 2-1. Big 6'6" right-hander. That fastball fouled away. It's 2-2. Latos, I mentioned working with Gianna Navarro. Those two in their careers, both National and American League together, combined for 177 ERA. So they click. Now, it's not a huge number of innings, 66 innings that the two have worked together over the years. Latos, with any other catcher in his career, is a 357 earned run average. So almost a full 2 points or 2 runs higher with anybody else. 2-2. And he gets Odor on the breaking ball.
It looked like he foul tipped it, but it also looks like it went right into the catcher's glove. Jeff Bannister, I think, is going to come out and ask to look at that. Possibly because it hit the ground first. I'm not sure.
Well, you would think that would have to be the explanation. Odor seemed as if after he foul tipped that ball that he felt it hit the dirt. Well, the guys know when you foul tip one and it's caught cleanly, you turn and you head back to the dugout. You understand. But I think Odor felt like maybe that one was trapped or skipped in that dirt.
You know, if you have a replay for a hit by pitch, which sometimes is tough to see, or a foul ball, that ball definitely hit the ground. He trapped it right into the dirt. Well, it looked like he did.
Yeah, I think that has to be considered a trap. Stopped it with the thumb of his glove from rolling to the backstop. But one out, and now Nomar Mazara.
And when you've got a ball breaking down like that, it's one thing when a fastball is fouled off, it tends to come straight back near where the catcher has his glove. Sometimes it sticks in it, sometimes it doesn't. Breaking ball.
When Mazara sends this one into orbit, deep to right field and gone. A solo shot for Nomar Mazara, and the Rangers are on the board.
Well, that duplicates the amount of runs that Latos has given up this year. One thing I just love about Mazara is some games you'll watch him and he'll be taking a lot of pitches. He'll be serving the ball to left field, just trying to make some contact. And then twice this year he's unloading. That one was more than halfway up in the seats in right field. No doubt about that one. The other one against Jared Weaver went even farther than that, up on the backdrop in right center field in Anaheim. So, you know, you watch him for 3 or 4 days and you say, well, maybe the power will come as he gets a little more mature and gets a little older. And then he unloads like that and you go, whoa, it doesn't have to come from anywhere. It's there right now.
Yeah, here we go. Another look at it.
Goodbye. Latos knew it the second he heard that contact. He kind of had that look on his face.
1-0 to Beltran.
Nomar takes a lot of pitches. A lot of times he'll take the first pitch. The time he went up there ripping.
That's a huge lift for the Rangers. They have had a real difficult time scoring runs in this series. Nice to get on the board right out of the gate. 2-0. And the breaking ball finds that upper edge of the zone. David Rackley, our home plate umpire this afternoon. Beltran up to a very good start this year and turns this one foul. It's 2-2. 6th in the league with that .333 average. 3 home runs. He's driven in 12. As you can see, been very consistent this last week. 10 hits on that 6-game hitting streak. 23 hits overall. That's 4th most in the American League. But he comes up empty on that breaking ball, and there are 2 gone in the first.
It's a good curveball, straight over the top. It doesn't go from left to right, from right to left very much. Pretty much goes right straight down. And when he keeps it down there, it looks like a strike all the way. In fact, it almost is a strike because it's going straight down. When you swing at it, obviously pretty tough to make some contact with it.
Prince Fielder now, and he sees that same curveball, comes up empty. 188 average for Prince at the start of the year. But you can see the eye total has been good, so he has been productive despite the low average. In fact, a lot of questions today for Jeff Bannister about not Fielder today, but Delano DeShields and his average. And Banny kept coming back and said, well, what's his on-base percentage? As Fielder fouls this one back our direction. The point being that batting average is not the only measure of a hitter. There are plenty of other ways to evaluate a guy's productivity or value in a lineup, and I think you could argue with Fielder, though you would like to see the average higher, and it will no doubt climb. He has done his job, which is drive the runs home, the 1-2.
For a leadoff hitter, on-base percentage is probably the most critical number. Batting average is meaningless for a leadoff hitter. You want to get your hits, move runners, driving runs, but basically you're setting the table for the middle of the lineup, and how much you get on base is what counts.
Hard roller to the right side of second, bobbled out there by Saladino, and he can't recover in time. So Fielder beats out an infield hit. Well, no, it'll be an error, of course, on Saladino. Shortstop over on the right side of second base. Couldn't handle it.
Didn't look like there was anything overly tricky about that ball. Maybe because he's playing second instead of short, but it just took a little hop right off his glove. Made a nice recovery, almost made the play. Very close play at first base, but no argument from the White Sox.
Fielder on, and it gets Ian Desmond to the plate. Smash back up the middle, and that one through a base hit.
Ian had a great game yesterday. He walked 3 times, scored all 3 runs, swung the bat well. He was 1 for 2. He hit a home run, stole a couple of bases. Says he's felt good all along. Feels good when he goes to the plate. Got off to a slow start. Starting to come around for him now, though. Made a nice play out in the outfield.
Got to play a little infield as well in the 11th inning. He didn't get an opportunity. Mitch Moreland steps in. Left-handed hitter at 228. But he has hit some very hard balls in this series that have resulted in outs.
You're right about that, Dave. He's 0 for 8 in this series, and you look and go, wow, Mitch has struggled in this series, but when you watch the at-bats, it hasn't really been that way. Yeah, the line drive turned into a triple play. The one yesterday that Lowry made the stab at was just hit 115 miles an hour. Made a do-or-die stab, and somehow it stuck in his glove. Could have changed the game.
Just a little bit low. 1-1 on Moreland.
More of a cut fastball right there. Good velocity on it, 91 miles an hour. Slider will be about 84 miles an hour, and a curveball will be a little bit slower than that.
Latos, deliberate from the stretch. And trying to find that inside corner, but it's 2-1 on Moreland. Well, they play Moreland very deep at second base. Brett Lawrie out on the grass in short right field. And the infielders on the left side of the diamond, shaded more toward the center. 2-1. That'll square the count. This is where we were talking about some of this yesterday. Now with 2 strikes, do teams maybe adjust a little bit on those shifts, thinking the guy might employ a 2-strike approach, and they're not shifting or altering back to a normal alignment with Moreland, so they feel like he will continue to try and yank it to that right side. The 2-2 spoiled.
Yeah, a lot depends on the pitcher and the type of pitch that he's going to throw. In that particular case, with 2 strikes, he threw him a fastball, and if Mitch did hit that, it would have gone to left field. But with Latos having the slider and the slow curveball, if that's what he throws, it'd be unlikely that Mitch would hit it to left field. So I guess it's a matter of seeing what the catcher calls and determining what you're anticipating.
Curveball, and it is fouled off.
Well, there was a hanger right there. Hit his belt high and right down the middle of the plate.
Moreland battling with 2 out of this first inning. A run already across. Nomar Mazara with a solo home run. Fielder on via the error. Desmond followed with a single. 2-2 from Latos. That ball hit on the ground, but right at Lawrie. Routine play ends the inning. Rangers leave it to, but Nomar Mazara gets the Rangers offense started in the top of the first inning. The rookie's 2nd home run of the year. The Rangers lead 1-0. In Chicago, White Sox coming to bat for the first time today. We take a look at their starting lineup. Adam Eaton in that top spot again. Tyler Saladino at shortstop, and then Jose Abreu, Todd Frazier, Melky Cabrera, 2, 3, and 4 spots, or rather 3, 4, and 5 spots. Brett Lawrie Jerry Sands, Deanna Navarro doing the catching today, and then Austin Jackson, center field, batting ninth for Chicago. Holland with a first pitch strike to get us going in the bottom of the first, and that is one of those things that could be a real key for him as Eaton fights one off.
Take a look at Derek's record on the season. This will be his 4th start. The numbers look good, and they are. As we mentioned earlier, the one thing he needs to do is get deeper into a ball game. His last start, he pitched 5 innings and threw 105 pitches. He had good stuff, just didn't pound the strike zone quite enough. But he's healthy. Velocity's fine. Breaking ball's fine. Threw some good changeups. Everything looks good. It's just a matter of refining the command within the strike zone a little bit and cutting down on his pitch counts.
Sharp hopper to second base. Easy play for Odor. 1 away. Let's take a look at the Rangers defense behind him today, delivered by the New Braunfels Convention and Visitors Bureau. A start in left field today for Ryan Rua. Ian Desmond moves into center field, and Nomar Mazara with a great play yesterday to prevent the walk-off on the robbery of Todd Frazier's home run. He's in right. Beltre and Andrus on the left side. Odor, Moreland on the right side of the infield. And today, Brett Nicholas doing the catching. Ball 1 to Tyler Saladino. 2 starts in this series for Saladino, right-handed batter. Offensive numbers haven't been great for him in this early part of the season. A 7th round pick out of Oral Roberts University back in 2010. This one high in the air to right field, but playable for Mazara. 2 away.
Oh, good start for Derek. Several pitches, 2 outs. Throwing strikes. White Sox haven't exactly been knocking the cover off the ball, although in the first couple of games of this series, they've been swinging the bats a little bit better than they had prior to that. And one thing you want to do, especially the way the bullpen has been used the last couple of days, for Derek, is to get deep into this ball game. You want to throw 7 innings, hopefully more than that, so that Banny doesn't have to worry about who he can use and who needs a rest out of the bullpen.
Jose Abreu. Let's see, he swings a very dangerous bat. The American League Rookie of the Year 2 summers ago. Pops this one up, but no chance. Evens the count at 1-1. One of the things Holland has talked about is, say, trying to be a little more efficient, maybe attack the strike zone a little bit more. First pitch strikes have been a problem for him. He threw a first pitch strike to Eaton, but he missed to Saladino and missed to Abreu with his first offerings this afternoon. Pumps that one, I'll say, right in there. Must have been a little tight.
Good idea, though. That's where you want to throw a power hitter. If you miss with that pitch, miss in off the plate. Don't miss to the left over the center of the plate. And that's where he missed, a little bit in.
Abreu lifts one high in the air. Playable for Mazara. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland. Just 11 pitches needed, so much more efficient this afternoon. Rangers lead 1-0. Follow Rangers Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live video highlights, StatCast news, and a whole lot more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. Beautiful day here in Chicago as we begin playing the second inning. Matt Latos had to throw 26 pitches in that first inning, Tom, and the error on the hard hit ground ball by Prince Fielder, made by the shortstop Tyler Saladino, that cost him an additional 8 pitches. Right, and those are or can be meaningful over the course of a ball game.
Well, it could be the difference between pitching 6 innings or 7 innings.
Ball well struck out to right center field, but Austin Jackson able to get underneath it.
He's playing Elvis a little deeper than we've seen Elvis play before. Probably because of this ballpark, and the ball tends to go a little bit farther in this ballpark. But Elvis has been swinging the bat well and hit that ball hard. The other night, he had the ball in the gap in right center field that tailed away from Jackson and couldn't get to it. I think he was playing him a little deeper in that particular at bat than he was the other night.
1 out now for Ryan Rua. Checks in at 296. Got the day off yesterday, back in there today against Latos. Today really a day off for Delino DeShields. You see Rua, and he's been in there lately. He's been very productive. The hole here though, 0-2. Latos gets him to hit one on the ground, but another diving stop by Laurie, and he gets it to first in time. I'll tell you what, that's the one takeaway from this series, Tom, maybe the great defensive play by Laurie for the Rangers. He's been spectacular at second.
He definitely has. He's dived to his right. He's dived to his left. He made the behind the back force out at second base yesterday. The pickup on the smash that Mitch hit to his left. Ball that looks like it might get into right field. He smothers that one and makes the throw to first base. We've seen him play a lot of third base too with Oakland. He's pretty good over there. He has the versatility of being able to play both those positions. And he has definitely saved the pitching staff for the White Sox some damage in this series.
The White Sox have taken the first 2 games of this series, and there have been very key plays late in the game where Laurie's defense has factored in a very significant way.
It's been a very good series. There's been some tremendous plays. Yesterday was about as good a game as you could see. And the Rangers made some great plays too. Mazzara took what would have been at the time a game-winning home run away from Todd Frazier. Ian Desmond made a diving play. Elvis made a nice play on a line shot that looked like a base hit up the middle. There have been some really nice plays made, some excellent pitching.
And Marlin got a runner at the plate on the intended squeeze,
which you don't see very often. Not sure the runner got a great jump, but still, when a guy gets the bunt down on the squeeze play, it's usually a run. So that was a nice play. Delino threw a man out at the plate.
Well, it was a bit of a heartbreaker yesterday, but as you point out, a tremendously entertaining ball game. Nicholas waits on a 2-2 and will earn another one. And I was tickled by the comments of Jeff Bannister after the game. A lot of managers, well, most managers, they take the losses very hard. He took it hard, but he was able to acknowledge the fact that, I can't remember the exact wording, but fans leaving the ballpark yesterday, they left disappointed. They're not baseball fans because that was one heck of a game. Curveball popped up into right center. Long run for both, but it is the center fielder Jackson who makes the play. And it's a 1-2-3 second inning for Matt Latos and the White Sox. After 1.5, Rangers lead by 1. Ball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Bottom of the second inning. Derek Holland was excellent in the first, and he drops a breaking ball in for strike one to Todd Frazier.
So Frazier's only hitting 200, but he's starting to heat up himself. He's hit 3 home runs in the last 5 games.
Yeah, when you see these early season batting average numbers, man, you've got to be careful. Oh, a Humpty Dumpty 200 hitter. No. Frazier's always dangerous and heating up in the last couple of days. You mentioned the 3 home runs, and there was one that nearly ended the game yesterday in the 9th inning. And Nomar Mazara brought it back.
He almost tied it and won it.
Pop up on the third base side. Might be room over there. Beltre right up against the railing. Wow. Nicely done.
I don't think many people knew he caught that ball. Almost popped right out of his glove. He got to the dugout, to the little railing in front of the dugout, and then speared it right as it was going into the dugout. Beautiful play. Inside guys getting out of the way.
Getting out of the way, and then at the end, offering a hand, making sure that Beltre doesn't fall. Now Melky Cabrera. So first pitch strikes to Frazier and Cabrera now for Holland. Cabrera's been off to the smoking start. Look at there again. Is that point you were making, Tom? The ball, almost halfway through the webbing there.
That was one of those H-webs. That wasn't a snow cone. The snow cone is when you catch it right in the tip of your glove, and you can see part of the ball at the top of your glove. That's just the style glove he has, where there's holes in the webbing. And it hit perfectly in the center of that one little square and almost went right through it. Good fastball.
Popped up on the infield, and Andrews is right there, 2 away.
Key to this fastball, we're going to take one more look. Watch as he catches it, and you see the ball. Well, you would have if the water cooler wasn't. There it is. Almost got through that web. Got Cabrera to pop up. Cabrera has been a tough out in this series, but he started him off with a slow breaking ball, and then got the fastball in on him and popped him up. That's a good combination of pitches. Cabrera's hot streak has him as the 4th leading hitter in the league right now.
So 2 out for Brett Lawrie. And Holland starts him low with ball 1. Lawrie at 286. But he has done his damage against left-handed pitching. One of the better in the league against lefties, hitting .417. It's 2-0. Holland has gotten 4 of his 5 outs so far today in the air.
Well, if you're behind 2-0 and you know the hitter's looking for a fastball, you can't go wrong with that fastball. Jammed him right in on the fists with it.
Working quickly today. And this ball popped in the air again. This time to the right side. Long run for Odor, and he'll track it down. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland. Efficient and effective early on for the Rangers. Our stats. Matt Latos out for his third inning of work. There you go. 3 wins. He had given up just 1 run, accounting for that 0.49 ERA, and as stingy as anybody. The batting average against less than 100 before today. But the Rangers, with the home run by Mazzara, Ian Desmond with a base hit in that first inning. Fielder reached on an error on a ball that he smoked. And now Rougned Odor pops it foul behind the plate, just beneath us.
Talking about Latos when he was a really good pitcher, still is a good pitcher. He's only 28 years old, but back in 2010, 2011, he was 22, 23 years old pitching for San Diego.
Odor lines one out into right field, and Eaton able to get in front of it.
I say the Rangers in this 3-game series, they haven't scored many runs, but they've hit some balls hard that have been caught. That ball was hit hard to right field, right on the button.
It's our AT&T high-speed replay. Omar Mazzara in the first inning. A no-doubter over the bullpen out in right field. Second home run of his young career. And Latos nowhere near the strike zone with his first offering this time.
Going back to Latos in San Diego, over a 2-year period, his ERA was just a little bit over 3. Then he was traded to Cincinnati in a trade where they landed a lot of top guys. All of them haven't turned out that way necessarily, but Yonder Alonso, Yasmani Granda were both #1 draft choices, high #1 draft choices. Brad Boxberger saved 40 games last year, and Edinson Volquez has won games in the World Series. Those are the 4 guys that he was traded for. That's the kind of pitcher he was when he was 23 years old. And with Cincinnati, he's 28-11 with a 3.32 ERA over 2 years, 24 and 25, establishing himself again with a new team. Then the next year he was 3.25 ERA. He hurt his knee, had surgery, and then last year he had knee inflammation, was hurt the whole year. And it was really a bad season for him all the way around, health-wise, performance-wise. So he really was a good guy to take a chance on. He's only 28 years old. If his knee's okay, who knows what you got. The White Sox signed him for $3 million, which is below an average salary for 1 year. Very little risk. And based on the first 3 starts, you can say they've almost gotten their money's worth for him already.
Oh, yeah. His first 4 full years in the big leagues, he won 14 games in 3 of them. Payoff pitch, and he'll walk Mazzara in the 3rd inning. He won 14 games in the first big league season in 2010. He did it again in 12 and 13. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's send it back to Dana Larson in the studio for a Chevy game break. See what's going on. All right, thank you, Dana. Beltre at the plate, struck out in the first inning. 0-for-1 today. A lot of afternoon action on a Sunday. Yankees coming to town tomorrow, in town for 3. Boy, there's a lot of panic, it seems, around the Yankees all of a sudden this last week.
There should be. Yeah, an old team.
They have for the last 10 years. It's this one hammered down the left field line and foul.
Another rope. Just barely hooks foul right at the end.
I don't know how practical it would be to do this, Tom, but if you went back through this series and totaled all the balls hit at an exit velocity of, let's say, 105 miles per hour for both teams, I'll venture to guess the Rangers have twice the number of hard hit balls.
I think there's been enough of them where you would have expected higher scoring games than what we've had. First 2 nights the ball wasn't carrying very well. Yesterday afternoon, especially the night game, there were some balls hit to the warning track that during a day game might go a little bit farther. But A lot of great defense made up for it. Made up for the hard hit balls. Some tremendous plays. Speaking of defense, Adrian talked about that ball that Abreu hit that snuck through the infield. You know, you were talking about the shadows around home plate and out toward the mound and how they might affect the hitter, which they do. Adrian said they affected the ball a little bit that was hit to him. He felt like he should have had that ball. It's tough to tell from up here. He said the shadows, and he might have taken his eye off it for just a split second. Had it sneak by him, but he felt like he should have caught it. Didn't look necessarily that way from up here, but I think he has even higher expectations of himself than anybody else does.
Goes up after that one to stay alive. 1-2. This is the ground ball you're talking about.
Look at the you see him in the sun, and you see the shadow.
And that was part of the problem for us. Once that ball hit the sun part of the field, we couldn't really see it.
No, it was tough. And looking at it again, the ball was about a foot underneath his glove. So if he felt like he had a little bit of a less than average jump on it because of the shadows that were there, then it might have been the difference between making the catch and watching it roll into left field.
Now, I think the other factor there, and wasn't discussed much after the game, was just it was crowded on that side of the diamond, and I think it was hard for everybody to get a feel for, well, is this my ball or your ball? Everybody a little bit out of position and a little bit crowded on that side. I think that might have added a little something to it. Slow roller to short. Saladino will take care of the routine out, but Mazara now in the scoring position at second base.
It's played by Saladino. Kind of sharing time with Jimmy Rollins.
Two gone now for Prince Fielder. And they will immediately go into the three infielder on the first base side shift for Prince. Prince hit one sharply, just a little to the right of center in that first inning. But Saladino, the shortstop, playing over in more of a second base position, just couldn't handle it. It was hit hard. One and one on Fielder. But already, yesterday we joked a little bit about the White Sox spoiling so many good pitches by Rangers pitching. That is 16 foul balls by Rangers hitters already today. They have fought off a number of good pitches. Couldn't get to that one. Well, an RBI spot here for Prince. Mazara out there at second base. Fielder fifth in the American League with 14 RBIs. Matos just missed that outside corner.
Well, the foul balls have forced him to throw 58 pitches. This will be pitch number 59. Fairly high pitch count for 3 innings, almost 20 pitches per inning.
It's 2-2. Hung that one a bit, but Fielder pops it up. Coming in from center field, Jackson, and the inning is over. Rangers leave a man in scoring position after 2.5. 1-0 Texas. Yankees. Get $35 tickets in the Cholula all-you-can-eat porch Monday through Wednesday when the Rangers take on the Yankees. Enjoy an all-you-can-eat buffet, your favorite ballpark food, and a great view of the new left field video board while saving 34% on tickets. Use the online coupon code HUNGRY at texasrangers.com/specials to reserve your seat today. Bottom of the third inning. Jerry Sands takes ball one from Holland. Sands, Yanner Navarro, and then Austin Jackson. Last three hitters in the order for the White Sox. Rangers' one run came on a solo shot by Nomar Mazara back in the first. Holland follows up with strike one. Sands in his sixth organization since being drafted in 2008 by the Dodgers in the 25th round. It's 2-1. Drafted out of Catawba College in North Carolina, where he set the school's home run record was 61, and he has had some years in the minor leagues where he's put up some pretty big power numbers. Today, the designated hitter for the White Sox.
Catawba College is in Salisbury, North Carolina.
You say that as if you have some familiarity.
Played there, played in Salisbury. Probably shared the same field that Catawba used. Whatever year it was that I played there, 1968, I think. They had a basketball player at Catawba named Dwight Durant, who might have played on one of the U.S. teams. Anyway, he played high school. He was a high school star in Massachusetts. And I saw him play basketball there. He also played on a baseball team, if I remember right. And it was not a real good field that Catawba shared with the Salisbury Senators back then. I think one of the big differences between baseball now and baseball back then is the quality of the minor league fields. We've talked about this many times, but virtually every minor league field now is, depending on the way they're kept by the grounds crew, major league standard. The stands aren't as big, but the playing surfaces are all beautiful. The lights have to be a certain, regulations keep them a certain brightness. Back then, you go to some minor league ballparks, you could hardly see in the outfield. They weren't manicured in the infield. Barely had room in the clubhouses. They were just terrible back then.
There were no standards, right? I don't know if
there weren't. There were no uniform standards throughout minor league baseball. A lot of the minor league teams weren't making a lot of money, didn't have a lot of money to spend on improvements.
Navarro unloads on that one for a long strike, 2-1 to count.
And yeah, at the time, that's just the way it was. Those are the fields you played on, so you didn't think much about it. Well, it would be so apparent as if you could go back in time and visit those fields again and wonder how you even played on them. The players today wouldn't even practice on those fields.
Well, even the big league ballparks for the longest time, and we take for granted, you look out today, every major league ballpark is perfectly manicured. But you go back and watch some of the old World Series films, and
no grass on some of the infields.
Oh man,
I know, I agree.
Full count on Yanner Navarro. Holland went to a 3-ball count on Jerry Sands before striking him out. That was his first 3-ball count of the afternoon, and now another full count, this time on Navarro. The left-hander's been efficient, very good early on here. This ball hit well to left field. Rua may run out of room, and it's gone.
Yanner Navarro was hitting 100 coming into the game. He came into the game yesterday when Avila got hurt. Got a base hit, drove in the go-ahead run, walked in the 11th inning in the rally that scored the winning run. He got a home run today. That fastball right in the middle of the plate, took advantage of it. Kind of getting yourself into a fastball count against a hitter you wouldn't expect to have to worry about hitting a home run. This goes to show you.
Now Austin Jackson with one out and nobody on. He takes strike one. So just like that, new ball game. Holland, this is in. No doubt. And Jackson lofts it out into right field to Nomar Mazara. 2 away. Now to the top of the order for Adam Eaton. Well, you know, remember yesterday, Tom, toward the end of that game, we were in the 11th inning. And in the 11th inning, it was Navarro who had come in late in the ball game. And he led off that 11th with a walk, a decisive 11th inning. And we pointed out that the two catchers working together in that 8th spot of the order had walked 3 times and gone 2 for 2. They had reached all 5 times to the plate. And now today, extending that run, 6 straight plate appearances for the catchers in Chicago. And that one, a no doubt home run by Navarro.
Yeah, coming into this game, Navarro was 3 for 30. 4 for 31 right now. He had a big RBI in that game. They knocked in the 3rd run, which put them ahead 3-2. Rangers tied it, but at the time it was the go-ahead run.
2-1 now on Adam Eaton, who grounded out in the 1st inning. The only ground ball out that Holland has induced this afternoon. The lefty's 2-1. And right off the end of the bat toward third. Beltre takes care of business, and it ends the inning. But not before Deanna Navarro gets the run back with a solo shot. Ties this game at 1. Time for our TXU Energy Power Player to watch today as we go to the 4th inning, and that is Ian Desmond. Desmond singled sharply in the 1st inning. In the last 7 games, reached base 12 times, scored 9 runs. Yesterday was a machine offensively. He was the offense. In fact, there's a great note today. These things can get a little obscure sometimes, Tom, but just roll with me on this one.
All right. It's in the notes. You're looking at it.
So, in the notes, Desmond became the first player to homer in a game in which he had 3 walks, 3 runs, and 2 stolen bases. The first since Andrew McCutchen in 2011. Did it for the Pirates against the Giants, but it's the first time that it's ever happened in a losing effort in Major League history. Now, again, it's a combination of events there. The 3 walks, the 3 runs, the 2 stolen bases, and a home run. It never happened before that. This ball shot down the right field line and just foul. Oh boy.
Boy, that had to be fair. That ball was fair by 6 inches.
I think they're going to.
Unless I'm blind.
Well, Jeff Bannister asking plate umpire David Rackley, said, "Come on, you can do this yourself, can't you?"
That ball's fair. Oh, that ball's foul.
Yep.
That's why we shouldn't try to be an umpire from 400 feet away.
And no doubt they're taking a moment to review that inside the clubhouse to see if they want to challenge it. They do not.
You know, generally speaking, the umpire's got a better view than we do. And
once again, proves to be the case.
Just keep quiet on the whole matter. But I think there are people down there that thought it was fair ball, too.
1-2 to Desmond now. He thought, I mean, as he was rounding first base, he immediately began pointing, saying, "Oh, come on." Two pitch from Latos. And it runs the count full.
That's just another example of hard hit balls that aren't quite going the Rangers' way. Beltre pulled one just hooked foul at the end, would have been a home run. That one would have been at least a double. Foul by a couple of inches.
And Desmond throws aside the bat. And pop up towards second base, handled by Laurie for out number 1. And here comes Mitch Moreland.
Well, for a hitter, Latos, when he's on, presents a lot of problems because he throws a slider and a cutter. The cutter's 4 or 5 miles an hour harder than his slider. Throws a slow curveball, fastball, 90, 92-ish around. And also throws a splitter, which I'm having a hard time picking up, differentiating it. The point being, he's got a number of different off-speed pitches at a number of different speeds. Talk all the time about disrupting the batter's timing. He's got the kind of stuff that can do it.
It's 2-0 to Moreland, and this one hit hard out to the gap right center and drops in. On last, Moreland hits a ball that finds Pater. It's been tough for him in that regard. Hey, now, you can pay the date during the Rangers' upcoming series with the Yankees. Get 2 upper reserve tickets for $25 on April 25th or $26 on April 26th, and so on. Use coupon code FSSW at TexasRangers.com to get your pay the date tickets. Ticket offer courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest.
That last pitch looked like it was probably the splitter, 84 miles an hour. Didn't have the break of a slider or a cutter. Without knowing how he grips it, you might have thought it looked a little bit like a changeup. But evidently he does throw a splitter, so that was probably it.
Rangers have a man on. Moreland over at first after the single. And Andrews takes one off the plate, 1-1. Elvis did not like the strike 1 call just a moment ago as he had been back out of the way, and Fox Tracks showed it to be inside. Today, Latos, when he has missed, it seems he has missed a number of times down underneath the zone now.
Elvis himself had a good game last night. He had a triple. Rangers have had 2 triples this year. Elvis has both of them. Big sacrifice fly. tied the game in the ninth. Swinging the bat very well early in the year.
And will add to his totals with a base hit to left. Back-to-back singles off Latos. Bring up Ryan Rua. Brewer grounded out of the second inning, 0 for 1. Put him straight up on the infield. And he's up there hacking. Brewer getting the start today at left. Delano DeShields taking a day off today. Now, we haven't really mentioned tomorrow's starter for the Rangers, yet to be announced. Cole Hamels has been scratched for tomorrow's start. Brewer reaches out and taps him slowly to third. Going to be a tough play. Frazier on to first. That's the only out they'll get with both runners. Moreland to third, Andrews to second, able to advance.
One hit in a series like this where they've been very low-scoring games, very close games. Seems like every inning there's a key moment of the game, and here's one right here. The ball falls in the outfield, pick up 2 big runs.
Brett Nicholas flied out in the second inning, 0 for 1.
First game didn't end up close, but for a good part of the game, hit here and hit there would have made it close.
A 6'6" right-hander, right in there, and he's jumped ahead 0-2 on Nicholas. There you go. Most hits allowed in a game this season. And the Rangers have figured him out at least a little bit so far today. Another foul ball. This is continuing to be part of the story today, fighting off those good pitches.
Well, get his pitch count up there. He came into the game averaging under 3 hits per 9 innings.
20 foul balls in the 76 pitches he has thrown so far today. Marlin third, Andrews second. The 0-2. We'll do it again. You know, the first 2 games of this series, the Rangers were 3 for 26. 3 hits and 26 at bats with a teammate somewhere out on the bases. Today so far, 2 hits and 6 at bats. But one here would be possibly the biggest of this weekend series if Nicholas can come through. Oh, just missed. 1-2 to count.
Even the first game, the score is not a close score, but for most of that game, it had the feeling of a fairly close game, especially in the 7th inning when the Rangers loaded the bases with nobody out. That's when that crazy triple play took place.
Two and two.
Well, Latos, the next pitch will be 80 pitches, 20 pitches per inning through 4 innings. So, combination of good eye at the plate, the foul balls that you've been talking about, Dave, have pushed his pitch count much higher than it's been in any of his other games.
Bit of a shift on the infield for Nicholas. 2-2. And he'll go up after that one. Hit it well out of the left field. Cabrera going back, and he is there. Well, a good swing, but Nicholas will leave 2 in scoring position. Rangers miss out on an opportunity, still tied at 1. The Rangers this season. Rangers Destinations travel packages offer first-class hotel accommodations, great game tickets, a private meet and greet with a current Rangers player, and a VIP ballpark tour, plus a whole lot more. This season includes trips to St. Louis, Boston, and Denver. Check it out, texasrangers.com/destinations for information and to book your trip. Underway, bottom of the fourth inning. Tyler Saladino, the second place hitter for the White Sox. And he takes a strike and a ball. I said earlier that one of the keys might well be Holland's ability to get strike one. First pitch, a little tapper, third base side. Beltre waits on it. Sidearms with the first, one away. So far, 11 hitters faced by Holland, and he is on a first pitch strike to 5 of them. He is, Holland, among the lowest in the league in terms of first pitch strike percentage, throwing a little better than 50% first pitch strikes. Of 75 qualifying pitchers in the American League, he's 63rd in that regard. His first offering in there for a strike to Abreu.
Well, there's an example of a really good first pitch strike. Barely a strike right on the inside corner. So even if the hitter's looking to hit the first pitch fastball he sees, there's nothing he can do with it.
It is kind of the complexity, though, right? You hear it all the time. You got to get ahead. You got to throw strike one. And pitching coaches, pitchers will tell you the same thing. It's not that simple. It has to be a quality strike one.
Yeah, you can throw strike one right down the middle of the plate and get tattooed pretty good. Say, well, I was getting ahead. Well, that first pitch strike was hit 420 feet. That didn't do you much good. It would have been better to throw a first pitch ball to that guy. But where this first pitch strike was, especially to a guy like Abreu, who could do some damage right in there on his fist, that's a pretty good pitch. Abreu did have the hit that won the game. We showed it already, a little dribbler that found its way into left field. But he's working on a 5 for 51 right now. And that's a guy that's hit 300 or better the last 2 years.
With
power hitter that's also a 300 hitter. 5 for 50 is pretty tough to do when you're that good a hitter. 5 for 52 now.
Second strikeout of the day for Derek Holland.
Uncharted territory for Abreu. Good hard slider down and in. Boy, he located some pitches just about perfectly to Abreu. Got a head in the count with a good fastball in. Finished him off with a pitch he had to swing at. It was close enough to being a strike, but he couldn't do anything with it. So far, Derek's pitching very well. Pretty good pitch count, only 50 pitches, 2 outs here in the fourth inning.
And there's a strike one to Todd Frazier. That's the first time today that a White Sox hitter has offered at the first pitch. Just a little bit outside, 1-1 to Frazier.
Frazier's got a good baseball biography. He was a member of the Toms River, New Jersey Little League World Series team back in 1998. They won the Little League World Series. He was their best pitcher. Didn't pitch the championship game against Japan, but he came in and got the last out, went 4-for-4 and hit a home run. So, you know, people that watch those Little League World Series every year, you don't see a lot of players coming out of the Little League World Series turn out to be big league stars. Sometimes it happens, but more often than not it doesn't. Frazier is an example of a guy that was a tremendous Little League player and now a tremendous big league player.
One of the more sought after bats this offseason.
Sure. Also got 27 rebounds in a high school basketball game.
Ropes this one down the left field line. That is a fair ball. Kicks right back to Ryan Rua, however. Rua throws it to second, and they got him. Frazier overslid the bag.
That was a throw right there from Ryan Rua. You get thrown out on that play, it's a shock. I don't care who's running. Ball's all the way in the corner.
Got a great kick right back to him, and he knew immediately he was going to offer the throw. Look at that, that was perfect. And a great job by Odor to stay on it and make sure he got Frazier while off the bag. Fans taking a look on the big video board. White Sox no doubt reviewing it in the clubhouse to see if that's one they want to challenge. The problem they're going to run into is I just don't see the definitive angle or evidence to overturn it. So that is going to end the inning. A base hit by Frazier, but gunned down at second base. We're still tied at 1. Transparency, well, there's nothing to hide. And by Mazda. And every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. Well, quite a defensive play to end the bottom of the 4th inning. And it sends us to the 5th, where the top of the order due for the Rangers. Rougned Odor 0 for 2 today. And takes a curve for strike 1. Here's the play. The tag at second base. Odor put the glove on the hand. Oh, there he is.
There it is. Separation.
Wow.
Great camera shot.
Check swing on a ball in the dirt. 1-1 to Odor.
Yeah, great play by Ryan. He waited for the ball to carry him right to him and then launched a 240-foot throw to second base. They got Frazier. Frazier had to be shocked when he walked back to his position after being thrown out on that ball. There's the big curveball that goes straight down.
Odor struck out in the 1st, flied out in the 3rd. Second time this year that he is in that leadoff spot for the Rangers. Jeff Bannister today with 5 left-handed hitters in his lineup against Latos. And the righty's 2-2. Bouncer up the middle, and this time
get that one, Lowry.
Wow. The ground ball that Brett Lawrie can't get to. Let's take another look. One final look at that Frazier base hit into the corner, and then Ryan Ruiz excellent throw to second base.
Wow. I guess you just make the assumption because you've seen that so many times. When the ball goes into the corner like that, you just make the assumption it's a double. You don't even expect the play. I saw Ryan throw the ball. I said, well, he's going to show off his arm, make a nice little try here. And I didn't realize he'd thrown him out. And it was surprising.
How about the defense in this series? Not just that play. We had the triple play Friday night. yesterday. All kinds of great defense, including Nomar Mazara at the plate now, robbing Todd Frazier of a home run. Come to think of it, Frazier would be more than happy to see the Rangers leave town.
Well, at least he got credit for a single on that play.
Final game of this 3-game series. Rangers need a victory to avoid the sweep. Let's try and pitch the way in. Since he gave up that home run to Mazara in the first inning, he didn't come anywhere close when he pitched to him in the third. And I think he's going to, certainly appears as if he'll work on the periphery of the zone with Mazara again. Mazara, the youngest player in Major League Baseball, 20 years old. And we'll be able to say that one more time tomorrow. He's got a birthday on Tuesday. He'll turn 21. Real tight that time. Runner going, and no chance for Navarro as Odor steals his 4th base of the season.
They picked a good pitch to go on. Tough pitch for Navarro to catch and throw with a left-hand hitter up there. That was an easy stolen base for the Rangers have run the bases all in this series, stolen some bases. No chance on that one. Didn't quite get it out of his hand, which eliminated any chance that he had. Pitch number 89 coming up.
The 2-1. And again, he's just trying to get Mazara to chase. And Nomar can load up here and swing from his heels if he wants, but the evidence has been since the home run that Latos not as interested in challenging him. Odor at second. 3-1. There's a hard bouncer second base. And Lori's on top of it for out number 1. But Odor able to advance to third base.
And this is where you want to manufacture a run. You get the base hit, a stolen base, and then the hitter does his job. He pulls the ball to the right side of the infield, moves him to third base. Close game like this, chances are the White Sox play their infield in. We'll see. You've got certainly one of your 2 or 3 best hitters at the plate right now, and Adrian Beltre trying to pick this run up. They will play the infield in. Makes it easier to get a ground ball through the infield. A blooper can pop in easier. Solid contact to the outfield will take care of that. Good speed at third base.
Does it surprise you when a team brings the infield in this early?
No, not in this kind of a game. Not in a close game with 1 out. Now with no outs, maybe they play back, but with 1 out, I think you take your shot right here.
1-0. And that ball's hit hard, but foul. Beltre today struck out in the first, grounded out in the 3rd inning. But 6th in the American League with a .333 average. And there you go. There's one of those stats that you really love to see and you follow closely. That ability to get that guy home, it's big. Snap throw back down to third, and Odor back in easily.
Good throw. Would have been close play. A little bit of daylight between Ruby and third base. White Sox sensed that. Fortunately, Navarro's throw was high. Might not have got him anyway, but if that throw was right on the bag, that would have been a fairly close play. Pitch number 94 coming up for Latos.
It's on the way. It's ball 3. Latos has pitched himself into some difficult counts today as well. He's been behind so many hitters. 3-1 to Beltre. And he lost him, so 2 men aboard now for Prince Fielder.
That was a very respectful at-bat from Latos to Beltre. He did not mind walking Beltre in that situation.
Part of the thinking there that you have fielder coming up, maybe you get a ground ball, turn a double play, and ball's forgotten.
When you come into that situation and you're facing guys in the middle of the lineup, there's no perfect way of doing it. But in this case, Adrian's hitting 330, Prince is hitting under 200. You've got a man on first. Now you got a chance for a double play. So it doesn't mean that Prince isn't going to knock in the run. He probably will. But percentage-wise, that's what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, Laurie gets the one at second, and there's two. So it worked out for Latos. And the Rangers waste that lead-off single. We're halfway to the house, tied at 1. Inning, the next Texas Chili Company $1 hot dog night is this Wednesday. See the Rangers against the Yankees and enjoy all the Texas Chili Company $1 hot dogs you can eat for just $1. That's $1 each. Tickets are available at TexasRangers.com. You can't eat all the hot dogs you want for $1. They're each $1. Melky Cabrera takes 2-0. Start his at bat here in the 5th. Dangerous hitter. Cabrera's been a real pest in this series. And he'll turn this one down to third baseline foul against Holland. 2-1. There you go. 4th in the American League with the .344 average. He's a .336 career hitter. This is where he typically hovers. Very accomplished hitter. Of course, it was 2012 when he was with the San Francisco Giants and helped them ultimately on their way to a World Series championship. But in August of that summer, was tested and ruled to have violated Major League Baseball's performance-enhancing drug policy.
Yeah, that drug situation makes you wonder what part of his career was legitimate and what part wasn't. He wasn't a 300 hitter when he first came up.
And he takes out with low ball 4, so Cabrera is on. The first walk allowed today by Derek Holland. The time once again, let's send it back to Dana Larson in the studio for a Chevy game break. All right, yeah, thanks, Dana. Oakland A's have been so good on the road. They started 7 victories in 7 road games as Lowry drives the first pitch he sees from Holland all the way back to the wall in right center. Cabrera did not get a good start, and they will stop him at third on Brett Lowry's double. That was the first pitch thrown today out of the stretch for Derek Holland. And it went nearly 400 feet to the base of the fence.
Good swing by Lowry. Lowry's did well against left-handed pitchers. He's off to a good start this year. Solidly hitting the ball offensively, playing good defense. Chicago teams are playing good baseball. Cubs are in first place by 3.5 games. They're 13-5. White Sox are 12-6.
A half game ahead of Kansas City, American League Central. As Holland pumps one in for a strike to Jerry Sands. 3 hits allowed today by Holland. Home run to Yanner Navarro. He was in the 3rd inning. The walk, the double here in the 5th. Infield is back, and the pitch comes in a little tight. It's 1-1. So the Rangers will try to avoid the big inning. Want to make sure they get an out to start accumulating that necessary 3 to move this on to the 6th inning. Cabrera not blazing fast down at 3rd either. Now this one gets through the legs of Nicholas, and here comes Cabrera. White Sox lead it 2-1. Wild pitch, and it moves Lowry into 3rd base as well.
Well, just wasn't a whole lot of room to get through right there. Brett was down on both knees. His glove was on the ground, and the ball still found a little crevice to sneak through. Now, even though there's nobody out, the Rangers will pull the infield in. Not with 2nd and 3rd in a tie game, but down by a run. Having a hard time scoring runs against the White Sox pitching staff. Don't want to give up another, so they'll play the infield in to try to cut down the 3rd run.
2-2 now to Jerry Sands. There's Latos at 90 pitches. One inside, and again trouble for Nicholas, but stays close enough that nobody trying anything on the bases.
Right now there's no one throwing in the White Sox bullpen. Without the double play, pretty good chance Latos was done, depending on what happened, maybe in the 5th inning, certainly after the 5th inning. But the double play might give him a chance to go back out for the 6th.
And there's ball 4, so Sands is on. 2nd walk of the inning. First time we've seen Holland struggle a little bit today.
Well, first walk was the leadoff walk in the 5th inning. Through 4 innings, he hadn't walked anybody.
And here's the guy who hurt him back in the 3rd inning, Yanner Navarro. Switch hitting catcher, bats right-handed. Lowry at 3rd, Sands at 1st. Ball 1. Infield back again. Hoping for a ground ball, maybe a chance to turn 2 here. He finds the inside corner, 1-1 to Navarro. Final game of this series. White Sox shut out the Rangers 5-0 on Friday night. Yesterday won a thriller in 11 innings, 4-3. And now, for the first time, lead in today's ballgame. 2-1 advantage. Melky Cabrera scoring from third on a wild pitch. You come to this ballpark and you fear the home run, typically. At least in warm weather. Usually the ball really carries out to right center. It's been a low-scoring, well-pitched series. And Navarro lays off. It's 2-2. White Sox to this point of the season have feasted off very good pitching. Not a whole lot of offense, but just enough. Collins 2-2. And that ball hit hard left field. Wheeler right there. Tagging at third, Laurie. Wheeler only has 1 assist today. The throw to the plate is behind him. Now trying to advance to second is Sands, and they'll knock him down there.
Oh, nothing. Great throw by Wheeler. He almost threw the man out at the plate. Lowry's got pretty decent speed. That was a fairly close play at the plate. He was deep when he caught that ball. Take a look at the throw. Right on the bag. Unfortunately, Sands tried to sneak into second. Nice play by Ruby. Caught the short hop from Nicholas and made the tag. That's as well as I've ever seen Ryan throw today. He's made 2 great long-range throws. One to second to get Frazier, and that one almost got Lowry at the plate. Nice try.
The White Sox trying to get a sense of whether or not they could appeal the out at second base or send it to replay review. A short pause here. Otherwise, it looks like a 9-2-4 double play. We've seen some, I'm sorry, 7-2-4. We have seen some unusual defensive plays in this series. You don't see a lot of those. But well done. White Sox content to let that one go.
White Sox catchers continue to get the job done. Navarro had 4 at-bats, 2 when he came into the game yesterday, and 2 today, a home run and a sac fly. Pretty good for a guy hitting 100.
1-0, and Austin Jackson rips that one into left center for a base hit. Has good speed. He's going to try for 2. Here comes a throw, and it is just behind him. And he's in there. 2-out double for Jackson. And the White Sox inning continues. Now we get Brocale out there. Well, when Desmond comes up with the ball in the outfield, that's when you're on high alert for a potential assist.
Yeah, he had great velocity on that throw, just a little too low. Took 2 skips, got it up just a little bit, and took 1 hop. He might have had another thrown out base runner.
So now a base runner at second base, 2 gone here in the 5th. 2 runs across. White Sox lead it 3-1. The first pitch to Eaton. He's up there hacking. 5 of the last 6 White Sox hitters have reached base. Now 2 of them were eventually cut down on the bases. Going to go back to the 4th inning when Frazier singled into left and then was thrown out at second base. Eaton again aggressive up there. And a hole now 0-2. Holland to the plate, and there's a smash down to third. Good backhand stop. Beltre across the diamond in time. So the inning is over, but the White Sox pick up a couple. And through 5, they lead the Rangers 3-1. Brought to you by Sonic. Today's jackpot worth $1,500 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Richard King from Aledo will win $1,500. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Richard will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Ian Desmond will start things off. Then Mitch Moreland, Elvis Andrus. I'm Dave Raymond with Tom Grieve. Great to have you along with us this afternoon. Steve Busby just getting the weekend off. He'll be back behind the mic starting tomorrow. A 3-game series with the Yankees back at Globe Life Park. Matt Latos right in there with strike 1 to Desmond. Desmond 1 for 2. Singled in the first inning. Popped up in the 4th. Be interesting to see how far they'll let Latos go today as he approaches 100 pitches.
I don't think too far. It looks like he's out of gas right now. He hasn't thrown a pitch more than 87 miles an hour. I think he was pretty much zapped after 5 innings.
Looks like they've got a lefty warming down the pen. And Zach Duke. This ball hit up the middle into center field. Base hit for Ian Desmond. He takes an aggressive turn. Almost blew a tire going around first base.
Well, Ian's been able to find a couple of holes today. That's one thing he wasn't able to do early in the season. A couple of ground balls that found a hole up the middle for a couple of base hits. That's one way that your fortune turns at the plate is when you're able to find some holes instead of having all your hard hit balls go right at somebody. Now the ground balls are starting to fall in there.
Moreland found some grass in the outfield in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 today.
A long ball right here.
Poor guy. He's been swinging the bat real well, but I'll probably tell you that it just looks like one huge leather glove out there. Pops this one up. And the shortstop Saladino. One away. comes Elvis Andrus, 1 for 2 today as well. Came in 9th in the league with a .321 batting average. Almost inch a little further north. Coming into today's game, the first 2 games of the series, the Rangers had enjoyed 3 innings in which they had sent more than 4 batters to the plate. I think in all 3 of those innings it was five hitters. They had not had really many opportunities and no big innings. Today they sent 5 batters to the plate in the first. And they did it again in the 4th inning. But they just haven't come up with that real big hit yet. And in there for a strike. Andrews. Petruchka has joined Zach Duke on that White Sox bullpen. So we have a righty and a lefty going now. Duke yesterday for an inning and a third in that 11-inning contest. White Sox bullpen has been the best in the American League so far. So if indeed Latos is starting to tire, this is the time to get it. Runner going. And no throw offered by Navarro. Just couldn't get it out of his glove. A stolen base for Desmond. His 4th.
Desmond continues to be a force on the bases. In yesterday's ballgame, he had a couple of stolen bases, which helped him score 3 runs in that game. Elvis knows he's going. He knows that disrupted the catcher. You see a hitter put the bat down like he's going to bunt. He's really not going to bunt. He just wants to disrupt the pitch and the eyesight of the catcher. Maybe he won't be able to catch the ball cleanly and make a throw. Not saying that's exactly why that happened, but it did happen after Elvis did that.
Hard smash by third. Base hit into left field. Desmond will drop anchor at third, though. So Andrews with a multi-hit game. Rangers have him on the corners. And that may be Don Cooper coming out there, the pitching coach, to have a word with Latos. They might try to milk him for a little more yet.
Well, Petruchka's probably not quite ready yet. He just started to throw. Latos, 106 pitches. He's cooked. He may gut it out and try to stay in there and get another out, but he's pretty much out of gas. He hasn't thrown a ball more than 88 miles an hour this inning. On that particular play, Desmond couldn't score. He had to wait to see if it went through, and it was hit hard right to Cabrera, so it's 1st and 3rd.
Hey, Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Surfrider Foundation in celebration of this month's Every Day is Earth Day initiative. By making simple changes in our daily lives, we can make a big impact on our environment. Go to foxsportsupports.com to learn more about what you can do to be a part of the solution. Season high 106 pitches so far this afternoon for Latos. Big right-hander, 6'6", 245 pounds. He'll muscle his way through the 6th. Bottom of his own, strike 1 to Ryan Rua.
Got a little extra. He got that one 90 miles an hour, so he's probably feeling like this is his last hitter. He'll reach back for everything he's got left. His highest pitch count coming into the game was 101 pitches in his last start. This will be 108 coming up.
And it's low, 1-1. Desmond 3rd, Andrews 1st. So another opportunity for the Rangers, and hoping, no doubt, that a flagging Matt Latos might make a mistake. Ryan Rua has big-time power in that bat. Didn't get a pitch to hit.
Red Sox came into the game, and it hasn't changed, with 3 pitchers in the top 10 in ERA. Latos was second at 0.49. Makes you wonder who could have been higher. Jordan Zimmerman hasn't given up an earned run yet. Chris Sale and Jose Quintana round out the top 10. 3 starters in the top 10 in the league in ERA.
Oh, comebacker. Latos snares it, second one, and the relay. What a big double play. My, oh my. He's a big target, and he just absorbed that quick bouncer back to the mound. 3-1 White Sox. The division rival Los Angeles Angels this Saturday. It's also Captain and Friends Mascot Weekend. The first 7,500 kids 13 and under get a Rangers Captain t-shirt jersey presented by Fanatics. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. The last 2 innings, Rangers have had first and third, 1 out, but it bounced into a double play. First pitch of the 6th inning. Bounced right to third base, and Beltre retired Saladino for round number 1. So some opportunities today, but just not getting that big hit yet. Rangers plagued by these double plays. So Jose Abreu steps in. Bounce one down to third as well. Right into the chest of Beltre. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Todd Frazier.
Last 3 outs have been hit to Adrian. The one Adam Eaton hit to end the 5th inning. That was a tough play. He had a backhand bat on a short hop. He was turned without even looking at first base until a strike to first base. Continue to watch Adrian play defense as well as he's played it since he's been a Ranger, for that matter.
Frazier today 1 for 2. He singled his last time into the 4th inning, but hit it so hard off the wall down in the corner in left field that bounced right back to Ryan Rua, who had a perfect throw, or a good throw to second base. Rougned Odor wrestled Frazier off the bag basically to tag him out. 2-0 to Frazier. Comes to the White Sox in a 3-team deal this offseason. And it's 3-0. He was traded by the Reds to Chicago. White Sox sent 3 players to the Dodgers. Holland dumps one in there, and the Dodgers sent 3 players back to Cincinnati. All told, 7 players involved with the 3 teams, and the end result for the White Sox was that Todd Frazier would be their everyday third baseman. That's a full count. He thought differently of it.
Derek's thrown 85 pitches, 43 strikes, 42 balls. It doesn't feel like that kind of a ratio. It feels like it'd be a little bit better than that. And he's thrown almost the same amount of balls as strikes. Well, you got a fairly decent pitch count, 85. Should be able to get a quick out here, get out and finish out the 7th inning. Depending on what happens the rest of the 6th inning, I'm sure that's what Jeff Bannister's looking for.
Just a little too far in there on Frazier, loses him to the walk. And we'll deal with Melky Cabrera. Big turning point of this game really came when Holland walked Cabrera and then had to work out of the stretch. It was the first time, and now back into the stretch again.
Just got the correction. The scoreboard is actually off. Thank you, Ian, for that. 47 strikes, 39 balls. No wonder it didn't feel like the same amount of strikes as balls. Didn't feel that way because it's not. Fortunately, we have Ian up in the booth to set us straight time after time again. Thank you for that, Ian.
1-1 now on Cabrera. Run in the 3rd for the White Sox. They got 2 in the 5th. On just 4 hits in today's game. And this one popped up. Odor back out there into the grass at right field and puts it away. Another quiet inning for Derek Holland as he shuts down the White Sox. Takes us to the 7th inning. Rangers trail by 2. Game summary. It started early, 1st inning. Nomar Mazara, 418 feet for his 2nd home run of the year, and the Rangers were on the board against the always difficult Matt Latos. But Deanna Navarro would come back in the 3rd inning, a solo blast of his own. That knotted it up. Navarro would not be done. Sac fly in the 5th inning. It brought home Brett Lawrie, but some good defense at the end of it helped quell the rally. Brian Rua is playing a great arm out there in left field today in our 4-game summary. Get you up to date. 3-1 White Sox. We play on in the 7th. Ball 1 to Brett Nicholas. Zach Duke has at long last replaced Latos. 1-1. We saw Duke yesterday, inning in the third, scoreless relief, allowed a couple of hits. Left-hander has this one fouled away. It's 1-2. Duke, one of the two left-handers out of that White Sox bullpen. Longtime starter in the National League, now a very good reliever as Nicholas sends this one out to center field and right to Austin Jackson for out number 1.
Well, Brett's hit the ball solidly all 3 times up. He's flied out 3 different times. None of them were threats to be home runs, but all of them were hit solidly.
Now to the top of the order for Rougned Odor.
He's trying to figure out a way to get some runs here. Well, they wasted a couple of chances the last 2 innings. A couple of sacrifice flies made have their 3 runs. First and third, 1 out both times.
Odor puts a charge into this one down that right field line for a long strike, and it's 1-1. Interesting, Matt Latos, one of those days today where he probably wasn't as effective as he had been in his previous 3 starts, and yet leads with a 3-1 lead. Slow one hopper out there to short, and Saladino with a good arm to get Odor 2 away.
Yeah, tricky play. It was the ball hit right off the handle, sliced, had a lot of spin on it. Didn't hit it far enough so that Saladino could catch it in the air. So he has to wait for the hop. You have to kind of estimate how that ball's going to hop with all that spin. And then he has to get rid of it quickly, knowing that Odor's hustling down the line. Got it there just in time. Maybe they're checking their monitor back in the clubhouse to see if they want to challenge it. Bannister's still looking back. Home plate umpire David Rackley still looking into the dugout to see if they want to challenge it. And let's see. False alarm?
Danny says, yeah, let's do it.
Let's check.
Let's take a look.
Late in the game. See if one went our way. It may be the base runner right before a home run that ties the game.
Look real good on that angle. Looks like that is in the glove. Or they might be looking at whether or not he pulled his foot. I think that might be the story, is did Abreu come off the bag and stay off the bag? The ball beating. Good beating.
It's like the ball beating.
The question is, will they have a good enough replay to show where that foot is? I mean, it may well have been off, but the issue is there a piece of video that clearly shows it? So they're in New York right now. The Chelsea market looking that over. Did look like he came off, but the question is, did he get back down in time? Now, some people argue now, Tom, they really dislike this whole review process because they miss, whether it was right or wrong, they just miss managers going out there, kicking a little dirt, yelling and screaming.
Well,
I mean, it's nowhere near as dramatic, right?
If they had replay throughout the history of baseball, you would have missed some very colorful incidents on the field. Thinking back to who knows who. Billy Martin, Earl Weaver, Lou Piniella, Tommy Lasorda. That's a huge part of baseball lore. So you're right. You don't have that anymore. Much more apt to get all the plays called correctly, though, now than back then. But you miss some of the color that was involved in the game.
Do you, are you in the camp that says that that's the biggest issue, right? Just get every single call right? I mean,
I loved the game the way it was, and if there was never instant replay, I would have been fine with it. It wouldn't have bothered me a bit. But, it's here to stay. It's not going to change. It's being used in other sports. Things evolve, things change, and just because it's that way, it was that way when you were a kid, when you were a player, doesn't mean it was necessarily better. Things change, and it's hard to argue with making an attempt to get all the plays right on the field.
I guess
I'm fine with it.
As much as they have that ability to do it. Indeed, no reversal of the call. Lindor is out via the replay, so 2 away. I miss that color, though.
Smell that cigar smoke?
I do.
Supposed to be no smoking in this ballpark.
Smells good, though, doesn't it?
Know whose it is?
No.
That's Jerry Reinsdorf, I bet. His box is right below us, and that smoke is coming up. Jerry Reinsdorf, of course, is the owner of the White Sox, so even though there's no smoking for the 30,000 people that are here today or anyone else, there is smoking for him.
$26,058 non-smokers here today, and one. And that's a high-quality cigar. It smells delicious.
I'm not quite on board with that. I'm not a big cigar fan myself.
Oh, you don't like that aroma?
No.
A little high to Mazzara, 2-2.
And I guess it's kind of hard to kick the guy that owns the team. Probably, I don't know if he owns the stadium or not. Probably does. Owns the Chicago Bulls, too.
Here's called strike 3. Mazzara down looking, and it's a quiet 1-2-3, top of the 7th inning. But we will keep it here as we celebrate America at U.S. Cellular Ballpark this afternoon. Is often the case on these Sundays with a performance of God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at Major League ballparks across America each Sunday, the singing of God Bless America is performed in support of our country and our men and women stationed overseas. Please welcome Gina Glockson for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God
Taking a look at the Progressive Rangers' upcoming schedule. Returning home after the ball game today. Yankees for 3 beginning tomorrow night. And then over the weekend, the Angels in town. Back to the road after that. Going international. Toronto, Detroit. First, some business to take care of here this afternoon. Rangers trailing 3-1. Derek Holland out for a 7th inning of work. And he jumps ahead of Laurie. 0-2. Fastball, the curveball. Laurie 1 for 2 today, doubled in the 5th inning. He's dazzled us with defense in this series. And Holland cuts him down on 3 pitches.
That's painting the corners. Look at that strike zone. Everything is touching the outside of it. Tough at bat for Lowry. Great at bat for Derek. Nice pitches.
Hey, let's send it back to Dana Larson in the studio for another Chevy game break. All right, thanks, Dana. 3-1 here. White Sox as Jerry Sands offers it strike 1. Sands 0 for 1 with a walk. Right back after him. All 5 pitches this inning strikes for Derek Holland.
You know, in Derek's last start, he only pitched 5 innings, but his 5th inning was by far his best inning. He tossed the ball 94, a couple pitches at 95. That last pitch was, velocity-wise, his best pitch of the day at 94 miles an hour. Second pitch right there was 94 miles an hour. So it may prove to be the same thing today, where his last inning is his best inning. Let's see.
The lefty's 0-2. And that one missed in, apparently. Holland turned in a great performance so far this afternoon. Coming in again. Rangers starters in this series. Colby Lewis yesterday, 6 innings, gave up a run on 6 hits. Really did an outstanding job yesterday. Full count on Sands. In the opener, Martin Perez battled against a strike zone that just was not going to allow him to pitch to his game. And 5 2/3. And today Holland has pitched really well, but trailing is this one lined into center. A base hit for Sands. Claudio warming up for the Rangers. And here comes Jeff Bannister. A great effort today for Derek Holland. Pitched very well. 99 total pitches. Not a whole lot of run support, but he's done. Claudio coming on, and we'll tell you all about him when we return. bottom of the 7th inning, and Alex Claudio hasn't pitched in over a week. Comes on for the 3rd time this year.
Numbers for Alex early in the season. Trying to keep the score right where it is at 3-1. Talked about the pitching staff of the White Sox, their bullpen. Tough to score against them. You don't want any more runs put on the board. See if we can shut them down right here.
Keeps Navarro on that right side of the plate. Switch hitting catcher today is very productive. Again, that 8th spot in the order for the White Sox the last 2 days has been the biggest problem.
In the last 6 starts, last 6 games for the White Sox, their starter's ERA is right about 1. And they have been very stingy with the runs, and the Rangers have found that out in this series.
One and one on Navarro. And Claudio will check in at first base. Trying to keep Sands just a little closer. Waggles into that set position. A little bit closer that time on Sands. 6'3", 180 pounds. Claudio out of Puerto Rico. 27th round pick in 2010. He's pitched in parts of the last 2 seasons for the Rangers. He's 1-1. Floats outside, ball 2. Some speculation. Claudio was potential to make a spot start. Pitch to Navarro on the outside corner. Cole Hamels scratch for tomorrow. Left groin soreness. Very similar to the situation last year where he missed a start against the Twins. So the Rangers will have to announce the starter sometime before tomorrow's game. Jeff Bannister this morning wasn't real sure what direction they would go. Depended a little bit on how today's game ended up. Full count now on Yanner Navarro. Might have had Sands leaning there for a moment. Shuffled that right foot towards second base, and Claudio decided that might be enough to get my attention. The payoff. White Sox catchers Navarro, Alex Avila with him yesterday. 3 for 3, a home run, a sac fly, 3 walks, 3 driven in the last 2 games. Avila had to leave the game early yesterday for Chicago. Put on the 15-day disabled list this morning. Payoff pitch, and he walked him. So Avila to the disabled list. Kevin Smith, catcher brought up from AAA Charlotte, was called up today. Navarro hasn't needed any help, able to handle everything so far today by himself. He's at first, Sands at second, and here's Austin Jackson. Jackson, born and raised in Denton, just up the road, went to Billy Ryan High School. He was a phenomenal basketball player, point guard. high school days as well. 1-1. Jackson, one of those guys, though. I mean, he was tagged from an early age. Baseball America, when he was 12 years old, Baseball America named him the top 12-year-old baseball player in the country. Now, how you could know something like that?
That's just making a list for the sake of making a list.
The tapper back by the mound. Tough play for Beltre, but he got it done again. No! Jackson called safe. Ooh. Boy, that's a tough play, and Beltre did everything he could. Rangers can't challenge because they lost their challenge a little bit earlier. Take a look.
That was going to be a tough one to overturn. Close play. Adrian made a nice play on the slowly hit ball. Jackson runs well. He was able to leg that one out.
So load it up. Sands at third, Navarro at second, Jackson at first, and Claudio steps away from the rubber. Here's a ground ball in a big way. Eaton lifts it, but foul for strike one.
Eaton's been very good this year. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities. He's hit well with men in scoring position. He's had very few opportunities. And he's on his way to being a very effective leadoff hitter for the second year in a row. Had over 600 at bats last year. Almost scored 100 runs.
It's that one.
Take that.
Wow. Man alive. I see so many great plays made by base coaches. But Joe McEwing,
he knocked it down. Tough for the third base coach because he's got to watch the man at second, the man at third, the infielders. They're ready to tell them to get back or what to do on a batted ball, then turn around and see the hitter. And it's a line shot coming right at you. That's tough.
Just held up, 1-2 count.
Got pretty close on it. But he stopped just in the nick of time.
Bases loaded, one out. 1-2 to Eaton. And there's that double play grounder. Oh, but the second one. Odor to first in time. And a 6-4-3 ends the rally for the White Sox in the seventh. We go to the eighth. Rangers, a little wounded chop in the final 2 innings. the Rangers play the final game of a 3-game set against the Angels. And the first 7,500 kids, 13 or younger, will receive a Prince Fielder wiffle ball and bat, courtesy of McDonald's. Find your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. 3-1 White Sox. They lead the Central Division in the American League by a half game over the Kansas City Royals, and their bullpen best in baseball. Nate Jones, third pitcher of the day, out there for the Pale Hose. Wearing those old 83 uniforms, right? I think of Ron Kittle when I see those.
Yeah, me too. Not a great looking uniform, to be honest with you.
Beltre swings at the first pitch from Jones and flies out to Eaton for out number 1.
They're just having a hard time getting something going. Every 2 times they had a little something going, they hit into a double play to end the inning. Saw Nate Jones earlier in the series. Big fastball, mid-90s. Unorthodox delivery. Takes his glove. Takes his hand out of his glove early. Also has a hard slider that he throws.
There's a breaking ball to Fielder. This is outside for ball 1. The way he removes the ball from his glove, it intrigues me a little bit, because so many pitchers are good at hiding the baseball, and they seem to get a little advantage out of that. The guys can't pick it up as easily, but he holds it right out there for every hitter to see, and yet he still had success with it. Foul. It's 1-2 on Fielder. Prince reached on an error in the first inning. Sinks in is flat out to center and rolled into a double play. Jones trying to untie his shoes that time. It's 2-2. Ian Desmond waits on deck. Rangers trail by 2. They haven't been swept on the road since 2014. It's been a little while as that one's full on Fielder. It was at Kansas City, September of 2014. Kaufman. They're in danger of being swept today, should they not come up with the necessary 3 runs at this point to win the game. This one inside the Fielder, and he'll take the 1-out walk. Desmond's had some great swings today. He's been really the offensive highlight the last 2 days. Today, Jeff Bannister was asked why. What has happened with Desmond since that 3-day break he took, or got, as it were, with the rain out last Sunday, the off day Monday. He had taken the day off on Saturdays to take strike 1. And Banny's suggesting that he's seen the ball better, and that part of that is just a position, I guess, that he's been able to achieve. His upper body, his head, putting himself in a better position to see the ball. And if that's improved his timing, allow him to get that front foot down and get some much better contact, and he has. The 0-2. Mitch Moreland would be next. I'm talking about the guys who've made the hardest contact consistently. It's Desmond and Moreland, at least in this series. 1-2 for Jones, and he's trying to tempt Desmond, but he won't take the bait out there. ball hit hard into right field, a base hit. Fielder on his way to second. He'll stop there. A walk and a base hit. And he gets Moreland to the plate.
Nice job right there. Ian calmly waited on that pitch, drove it solidly into right field. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It has some great movement on it, but it takes movement from the outside corner right to the middle of the plate. And it's going 96 miles an hour with movement. Not that easy to drive it into right field like that.
Hanser Alberto has come in pinch run for Fielder. So he's out there at second base. Here he is. Hanser at second. And Desmond over at first. And now that the potential tying runs are on, the potential go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Moreland, who certainly possesses the ability to give you that big blast. 1 for 3 today. He has been a hard luck Rangers hitter, one of many, but in this series in particular. One ball, one strike on Moreland. Temperature's starting to drop a little bit here at US Cellular Field. Strike 2 on Moreland. A little overcast on the south side of Chicago as well. Rangers have had a hard time coming up with that big hit in this series, but the opportunity lies right there in front of them here in the 8th. 2 men on, 1 out for Moreland. The pitch from Jones. And we'll do it again at 1 and 2. Jones ready. Now time call. Jones had to work a little bit here in this relief appearance in the 8th inning. 16 pitches so far. The 1-2. And he got Moreland.
His off-speed pitches, back-up slider, looked almost like a changeup in the outside corner. Never really broke around and in like he wanted it to. Turned out to be effective though. Change of speeds.
Don Cooper almost. There we go. They put this new 30-second clock in play for these mound visits. And you get charged for that walk time out there.
Well, Don's not really moving all that fast either, so it's going to take him a while to get off there.
They should get taxed on the time walking back to the dugout too. Well, a much-needed visit because one of the problems that the White Sox have had up and down has been finding a way to quiet Elvis Andrus, who today is 2 for 3. And he's one of the best in the league right now with runners in scoring position. I think 533 with runners in scoring position. Second highest batting average in the American League. Alberto at second, Desmond at first. Elvis has the Rangers' only hit today with a runner in scoring position. That was in the 6th inning. 1-1. White Sox fans have lost interest.
Right. They have throwback uniforms. They're going to throwback wave, too. I've seen that in a while. Throwback line drive right here. That doesn't deserve to be a strike.
That was, Fox Track showed it to be off the plate. Tough spot.
Both those called strikes. Very close, but slightly off the plate.
Elvis fouls one over the first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the Rangers shortstop.
I'm Nate Jones. That's where I'm aiming it. 2 inches off the plate. Try to get the call again.
Dave Robertson, their closer, loosening out in left field. Yesterday, Elvis drove in 2 of the Rangers' 3 runs. Had a lot of opportunities today. The 2-2. That one blooped out into center, but right to Austin Jackson. And the inning and the threat is over. Rangers have left 9 men on base through 8 innings, and they trail by 2. Presented by AT&T high-speed internet. Yankees in town tomorrow night. A-Rod and company coming into Globe Life. See Prince Fielder and the Rangers, who will be happy to get back home. Just a short 3-game road trip here to Chicago, but things have not gone their way to this point. As Tyler Saladino, shortstop Jose Abreu, and then Todd Frazier to bat in this 8th inning for Chicago. Claudio gets him a swing on the top of a breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Morris came in in the 7th inning.
A blooper ball.
We get strike 3 called. 1 away. What do you do with that?
Take it. He's paralyzed by it. And it drops right in there. unlike the pitches from Nate Jones, that did catch the outside corner.
One gone in the 8th. And Jose Abreu 0 for 3. Had the game winner yesterday in the 11th inning. And he takes strike 1.
Well, Claudio definitely has a repertoire of pitches that's a lot different than most big league pitchers. So when he comes in for an inning or so, he can definitely throw off the timing of the hitter. They're not used to seeing this type of a pitcher, especially left-handed, with that kind of a changeup. He can be effective that way. They'll probably get to pitch the rest of this inning when you look at the bullpen. Jeff Bannister probably doesn't want to use, unless the Rangers take the lead, any of the other guys.
Abreu sneaks one by first for a base hit. He's trying for 2. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time.
Well, the Rangers have locked some incredible throws. Some of them have got runners, some of them haven't. But from all angles in the outfield, all areas of the outfield have come some pretty strong throws in this series. Ryan Ruiz had a couple of today. Desmond had one the other day. This is a great throw from Nomar in right field. It doesn't get the runner, but it's a one-hop strike right on the bag.
Well, Mazara had 41 outfield assists the last 3 years in the minor leagues. He's got a good, accurate arm. And Frazier takes a strike. Todd Frazier today, 1 for 2 with a walk. And floats off the outside corner. Our 9th inning, it'll be Ryan Rua, Brent Nicholas, and Rougned Odor. Bill Robertson still messing around out in the bullpen for the White Sox, their closer. Will likely be the man coming on for that inning. Great day today for Derek Holland. 3 runs allowed on 5 hits and 6 1/3 innings. And really pitched better than the line would even indicate. Bouncer toward third, way back on it. Beltre, long throw, 2 away.
About as far away and being on the infield dirt as you can be and make a throw. Adrian does it perfectly accurately from way back there.
Another visit out to the mound for Nicholas as Melky Cabrera comes to the plate. Average has dropped a little bit today. Still among the top handful in the league, however, and he takes strike 1 from Claudio. Infield back deep. They want it away, and it is away. 1-1. I gotta believe this White Sox team certainly off to one of their best starts for quite some time, since 2006. We were following their World Series championship. They might well be a real factor in this Central Division race. Right now with a half-game lead on Kansas City. And the Royals winning at home, bottom of the 8th inning right now, 6-1 over Baltimore. 2-2. Meanwhile, the Rangers, it has been a frustrating weekend. Very entertaining baseball and a lot of great defense, but just haven't been able to come up with a big hit. They continue to sit in first place in the West, tied with Oakland. And Oakland already lost today at Toronto. Full count on Melky Cabrera. So for the moment anyway, the Rangers with a half-game lead in the division. Depending the outcome of this one. We will hope the offense will come alive again, either in the 9th inning here this afternoon, or at least when they get back home. 3-2 to Cabrera. He lost him. 2-out walk.
Well, the Rangers definitely had their offense going when they hit the road. And there's a lot of factors a lot of things that can be factors in the Rangers offense going down since they left home. Chances are they like to hit it home better than they do in Chicago. Chicago's pitching staff is very good. We got a late night flight, bounce back from that, then a day game the next day. That's a tough part of the schedule. I think when it's all over and done with, you just have to tip your hat to the White Sox pitching staff. It's very, very good.
Rory shoots one into center field. They'll wave Abreu. The throw missed the cutoff man, and Abreu scores. 4-1 White Sox. Desmond really wanted to see if he could gun down Abreu at the plate. And meanwhile, Moreland was trying to cut it off of the mound. He was unable to, but it didn't cost anybody any bases. Okay, with a quick jog out to the mound and talk to Claudio. Just need the one more out to get the Rangers back up in the 9th inning. Now the Rangers have scored 4 runs in this entire series and have hit at a .204 average against the White Sox. To your point about the good pitching time, you do have to acknowledge White Sox, at least statistically, best pitching staff right now in the American League. Certainly the best bullpen.
Yeah, again, you can look at all the factors, but when you boil it down to the lowest common denominator, it comes down to the early in the season. In April, the White Sox have pitched better than any other team. The Rangers are getting a look at it.
So Chopper, Beltran, unbelievable!
What a ride on that play.
Well, he's so much fun to watch. Adrian Beltre with another dazzling play at third, and that ends the 8th. Here, watch this all day long. Last chance for the Rangers coming up. forward to that as well. Hopefully recapping a phenomenal ninth inning comeback by these Texas Rangers. Trailing by 3 and having to deal with that guy, David Robertson.
Well, Robertson 6 for 7 in save opportunities this year. The one he didn't save was yesterday. Elvis hit the sacrifice fly to tie the game. White Sox came back and won, but Robertson off to a solid start this year. Opponents are only hitting 130 against him.
Starts it off to strike 1.
Upcut fastball, which he likes to feature. 91, 92 miles an hour generally. So very much success with it. And then, in addition to that, he'll throw a curveball. Breaks more, comes in slower.
He was a very big target 2 off seasons ago in the baseball winter meetings. He just misses in 1 and 2 to Ryan Rua. The White Sox kind of came in quietly at the last minute in that whole Robertson sweepstakes and shocked everybody. Hits the outside corner and strikes out Rua to start things in the 9th inning.
Perfect pitch. Fastball, good velocity, great location with it. Right exactly where the catcher had the glove. And perfect pitch.
Brett Nicholas now. Left-handed hitter against the right-hander Robertson. And he's hitting the outside corner. Robertson trying to earn his 7th save of the year. Which tie him with Wade Davis, the Royals, and Ryan Madsen of the Oakland A's for most in the American League. Time called now. And it's 1 and 2. Nicholas 0 for 3 today. With 3 fly ball outs. He's had some pretty good swings. Right now he just needs to find his way on base. Rangers need a couple of base runners here. But he's not going to get there. Back-to-back strikeouts, both of them looking. And the Rangers are down to their final out. Odor, his base hit came in the 5th inning. Everything's a strike right now. That's a nasty breaking ball from Robertson. 0-1.
I knew I shouldn't trust the scoreboard here. Looking at balls and strikes, they called that last pitch a knuckleball. I call that one a knuckleball too. That's a heck of a knuckleball. A knuckleball looks just like a curveball. Now you know what? He might throw a knuckle curve, maybe. Maybe that's what they're trying to say.
0-2 and a waste one.
Just a matter. It's not a knuckleball. A knuckle curve is just a curveball that you hold a certain way with your knuckle off the ball.
Strikes out the side in the 9th inning, and Robertson with his 7th save does so in very clean and convincing fashion as the White Sox sweep these 3 from the Rangers. Final score 4-1 Chicago. We're back with more in just a moment.